welcome to today's session. And today we're going to talk about custom coloring your hand-tied wefts. Custom coloring your wefts is what's really going to create a seamless wear for your guests. It's what makes it customizable. So when I start coloring my wefts, I always like to start by combing out any tangles and really lining up all of the hair to ensure that we don't have any areas that kind of get pulled up or get colored that shouldn't. As you can see, I'm using my arm across the weft to make sure that the weft is stabilized and that I'm not pulling up any hair that I don't want colored. When I am coloring my wefts, I'm always making sure that I'm getting color in that upper seam. We want to make sure that we use a good amount of product because the extension hair does absorb quite a bit of the color. So after I brush up to make sure that that weft is completely saturated, I slowly start to drag the color down so we start to get that soft line and we get a nice graduation of color. As I am coloring the weft, I'm readjusting and I'm making sure that everything is lined up. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in with my comb and I'm going to comb some of this color down to make sure that it is in and in between each strand. And this is also going to help with the feathering process to make sure that we're getting a nice blend. When we are combing, we want to make sure that we aren't getting any crosshairs or any hair isn't coming up. And then this is what we call dry brushing. This is when we go in with a dry brush, which contains no color, and we redistribute the color after we've combed it out, and we feather it down again. Now I'm going in with my demi permanent color. And this is again going to help us with that graduation of color. This color is all clear with just a very small amount of actual pigment in it. And again, this is going to help us create that nice graduation of color. It's going to help us distribute that product and kind of blend that product down. And it's going to give us a beautiful blend that is going to really keep those extensions from being exposed or showing when they're in the client's hair. Again, I'm combing everything together. I'm really making sure everything is blended. I'm holding the top of the weft so everything stays secure while I'm doing this process. And then I'm going to go again in with my dry brush, which is going to redistribute the product and really help me get everything nice and saturated so there's no spotting and so there is a nice soft blend. So whatever we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So we are going to actually take this weft and we're going to flip it over. And I do this carefully to make sure that we keep everything nice and neat. So we're going to go ahead and take this and flip it over. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now, as you can see, this extension hair is starting to process. The way it looks on the weft is the way that it's going to look when it's actually done processing. The color obviously is not going to be a pink color. But if you see any spotting or any discoloration or any areas that are not actually taking the color, then you want to go in and make sure that you redistribute and add more color to that area. Again, we're adding our clear with a splash of demi or semi, whichever works. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to blend out that line. And this really does make all of the difference when it comes to creating a seamless blend. We're going to go ahead and comb. Now, the product that we use for rooting, I always use permanent color with 10 volume. I feel like this has the best longevity and it has the best application and it looks the best and I feel like it does not fade out weird. Some color lines, if you use a semi or a demi, can actually turn pink after it's done processing. So I say use permanent all the way when it comes to the actual root. When it comes to rooting extensions, every single guest sitting in your chair will most likely need a root. You can choose to root the extensions yourself, or you can buy them pre-rooted. We like to have a variety of different wefts stored in the salon, and we like to keep a lot of stock. So we keep basic blondes that we can make adjustments to, like roots or lowlights. And it really does allow us to personally customize the extensions for each person coming in. Again, this is something that we charge for. We charge hourly at my salon. So we just count how long we worked on the custom coloring and we tack that on to the client's total at the end. Now, again, this is something that you should discuss with the client before you actually charge them so they know. And here is our after. So here is the low light that we did, which you can see looks beautiful. And I'm going to show you the rooted so you can see how nice and soft it looks. So this is that same weft low lighted, which you can see in another video. And here is our rooted extension. As you can see, it's very soft. There's a beautiful blend and it looks great. This would look great in anyone's hair, and we love using beiges and neutrals together. You always get a nice neutral tone and it always turns out great.